Hello guys and welcome to a new video. In this video we will talk about installing Metasploit framework, and about this framework the easiest way to install it is by just installing the Kali Linux system, which have a pre-built version of Metasploit framework on the same system. So in order to do so, you go to your browser, then you search for Kali Linux, then you go to downloads, then you scroll down until you see Offensive Security VM download page. Then you click on this positive. Then you download the VirtualBox 64-bit, depending on your system of course. In my case it's 64-bit, so I'm just gonna download this. Okay. Now after you downloaded the file, you only need to go to that specific file. Okay, just one fast thing, like before installing Kali Linux, you need to have VirtualBox or VMware, which is a virtualization software used for running multiple machines on the same host. In my case, I'm using Windows, so if I want to run another operating system, I don't need to format my HDD and do full installation. I can just have something like VirtualBox or VMware, so I can run it virtually. Okay, you can just okay, let me show you. You just search for VirtualBox, then you go to downloads, then you click on your host, in my case it's Windows, then you download it and install it as any normal software. Okay, so after you downloaded the Kali Linux file, okay, you double click on it. Okay, once you see this window, you click on import, then wait, then you click on agree, then you wait until it's finished. Okay, once it's finished, you click on start the machine and you wait for it. Let me just minimize those windows. Okay, once you see this, you write Kali as username and Kali as password, then you click on enter. Once you reach this screen, you can click here, then search for Metasploit, and you will find it here. Now, after we successfully installed Kali Linux, which already has the pre-built version of Metasploit framework, you click on it. Okay, then you enter the password, which is Kali in our case. This messages appears only on the first time you start up the framework. Okay. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about Metasploit framework. It's a framework used for exploiting vulnerable machines, and in order to do so, I prepared a virtual machine called Metasploitable 2, which intentionally have some vulnerabilities to exploit using the attacking machine, which in our case is Kali Linux. Okay, so in order to do so, let me just start the virtual machine. Okay. And about Metasploit framework, you can do some auxiliary scans using it, and this auxiliary scan is very useful for finding which exploit you need to use. Okay, so once you know the vulnerability and you do the auxiliary scan so you can know the recommended exploit for this, you just go here on Kali Linux. Okay, then you click on exploit database, then you search for that specific exploit so you can know what command you need to run on the Metasploit framework. Okay, I'm just gonna do something really quick now. And it's not only on virtual machines that you can attack. You can attack on any server, any IP address with any specific vulnerability that you can auxiliary scan if it's vulnerable to that specific exploit or not. Okay, let me see what happened to Metasploit 2. Okay, let me just log in. Okay, now what we need to do is finding the IP address on the receiving machine. or Metasploitable2 in our case, by writing ifconfig. Okay, this is the IP address 10024. Let me ping it from Cali so I can know if it's working. Okay, ping. Then click on enter. As you can see, we're sending 64 bytes and receiving them, and everything is working fine. Ctrl Z to stop the process. Then now let's get back to our console, Metasploit console. Use now, you just write help, then you will find every single command, like you will find multiple options about which command you can use. And about the exploitation, if you want to know what exploit to use, first you do the nmap scan on that IP address by writing nmap 10.0.2.4, click on enter. Now you will know which open ports are there in the Metasploitable2, so you can use them to exploit to the system. Okay, here you go. Now, if you want to exploit specified for SSH, then you search the database for which exploit you should use. Okay, then you would do auxiliary scan so you can know more specifically which version of the exploit you should use. And yeah, that would be all for now. Now, another thing you can do with Metasploit framework is search for the specific exploit you want. As an example, if I want to go to this open port SSH, I can just go here, come back to the Metasploit framework. Okay, let me clear and search for SSH. Okay, I will use the auxiliary scanner SSH login 21. So in order to use that, you can either write the same name of the exploit, or you just write use 21, which is the number of that auxiliary scan. Then you write options so you can know what you need to add. The rhosts is missing, so we just write set rhosts, which is the receiving host or the receiving machine IP address. Okay, 10.0.4.2. Then click on enter. Then you write run. As you can see, the auxiliary scan is finished. Now, if you want to exploit that machine, you just write exploit and everything will be fine. Another way of exploiting it, you just write clear, then you write back, clear again, then you exit, clear again. Now you can write telnet, then you write the IP address, and you click on enter. Now you write the login exposed in this one, and then you write msf admin again as password. Okay, and here you go. You successfully exploited Metasploitable2 using a wide range of tools like nmap, telnet, and Metasploit framework. Now let's go to the system by writing sudo super user dash, then you write the password, and now we have the root privilege on Metasploitable2. Let's see what's inside there. There's the desktop. Let's see the desktop by redirecting to it. Now we are in the desktop. Let's add a file like hello world.py, which is a Python based file. Then click on enter. Now if we dig deeper in desktop, we will find that the file is there. And yeah, that would be all about Metasploit framework. Thank you so much for watching.